Nature is relentlessly, persistently noisy. If you stand alone in a healthy, undisturbed forest, close your eyes, and just listen, you will hear a constant, layered, chaotic symphony of living things. Birds calling to each other across the canopy. Insects weaving their electric drone through the undergrowth. Leaves chattering in the wind. The soft, endless rustling of small animals moving through the brush, living their quick, unseen lives in every direction around you. The forest, in its natural state, never stops talking. But veteran hunters and experienced wilderness guides will tell you that there is one sound in the deep woods that is more terrifying than any roar, any crash, any scream in the dark. Absolute, total, instantaneous silence. In paranormal and cryptozoological research circles, this phenomenon has a specific name, the Oz factor. A hunter named Mike had been tracking white-tailed deer deep in the Appalachian Mountains on a cool October afternoon. He was miles from the nearest trail, in a section of forest he had hunted for 15 years. The woods were alive, woodpeckers hammering at the high branches above him, cicadas grinding their continuous, electric wall of sound around him. He sat down on a fallen log to drink from his water bottle, setting his rifle across his knees. And then it happened. Not gradually. Not over the course of a few seconds. All at once, as completely and as instantaneously as a light switch being thrown, everything stopped. The cicadas cut off mid-note. The birds stopped singing simultaneously. The wind died without fading. The leaves on the branches around him went perfectly, impossibly still. Even the small, ambient sounds of the forest floor, the micro-rustlings of insects and mice, simply ceased to exist. The silence was not peaceful. It was not the silence of a library or an empty room. It was the silence of held breath. It was the silence of something vast going completely, desperately still. Mike could hear his own heartbeat in his ears. He could hear the sound of the blood moving in the veins of his neck. The absence of the forest's voice was so total that the internal sounds of his own body seemed deafening. He knew what a predator hush was. He had experienced it before, the way the small animals within a 30-yard radius will go silent when a mountain lion passes through. It lasts a few seconds. It is localized to the immediate area. This was not that. This silence stretched in every direction as far as he could perceive it. It felt as though it extended for miles. It had not crept up around him. It had simply arrived, complete and overwhelming, the moment a presence he could not see had noticed him. What hit him alongside the silence was not an intellectual assessment of risk. It was something far older and more visceral, a wave of pure, primal, animal dread rising from somewhere beneath rational thought. Every hair on his body stood upright simultaneously. His vision sharpened. His body flooded with adrenaline before his mind had formed a single coherent thought. He did not raise his rifle. He did not turn around. He understood, on a level below language, that turning around was the wrong thing to do. He stood up slowly from the log. He began walking backward, keeping his eyes fixed on the dense wall of dark trees in front of him, step by deliberate step, the way you back away from a dog whose posture has shifted. He walked backward for a full 2 miles before the crickets began to return, hesitantly at first, a single voice, then another, then slowly the whole vast orchestra of the forest reassembled itself around him, as though exhaling. He never returned to that section of the mountain. What is the Oz factor? Scientists offer sensible explanations: infrasound from geological pressure, sudden barometric change before a severe storm, or an apex predator moving through. But those explanations never quite account for the speed. For the totality. For the feeling that whatever caused that silence was not simply large. It was old. And it had noticed. You. If you are ever alone in the deep woods, and the birds stop singing all at once, do not wait to find out why. Subscribe to Echoes in the Dark, new mysteries unsealed every week.